Hey guys, welcome back to Food Tech Journey. So today we are going to discuss about introduction, classification, nomenclature and structure of enzyme. So without further delay, let's start. Basically, what are enzymes? These are protein catalysts that increase the velocity of a chemical reaction and are not consumed during the reaction they catalyze. Right? Next, you must be knowing that enzymes help to promote all the metabolic and catabolic reactions occurring in our body like replication, digestion, absorption and all the reactions and processes happening inside our body. Right? Here I have a little fact for you that there are approximately 3000 enzymes that exist in our body, each of them with a specific function. Can you believe that? Next we are going to discuss about nomenclature of enzymes. These are of two types. First is recommended name, then systematic name. So each enzyme is assigned recommended name as it is convenient for daily use, and these have the suffix ACE attached to the substrate of the reaction. For example, glucosidase, sucrase, etc. Next is systematic name. Systematic name was developed by IUBMB, which stands for International Union of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, and these names are clear in meaning and informative, as you can see in the example. Next, that enzyme have two basic functions, and as enzyme execute two basic functions which are catalytic efficiency and regulation. So mostly enzymes are highly efficient. Actually they are highly efficient as they proceeds reaction 10 to the power 3 to 10 times faster than uncatalyzed reactions. And about regulation, the enzyme activity can be regulated, that is rate of product formation depends upon the needs of the cell. Understood? Next, here is one more fact for you so that you will have a better understanding about substrate, keyholes, locks and inhibitors. So, firstly, enzymes are locks. As you know that enzymes work like a lock in a chemical reaction process, which is very necessary to maintain life, right? And you must be knowing that our body contains many enzymes and substrates, right? So to continue our life in a healthy manner, the correct enzyme must locate and unite with its specific substrate. That's why enzymes are called as locks. Next is enzyme sites are keyholes. For example, you must have seen the lock on your door, right? The enzyme sites also work like the keyhole in the lock, in which only certain keys will fit in the keyhole. Perhaps only one key will open the door. That's why enzyme sites are keyholes. Substrates are keys. That is, each enzyme will only respond to one substrate which will work like keys for the enzyme lock. These all are interlinked with each other. Next is inhibitors jam the lock. It means that inhibitors work like a key that will enter the keyhole but cannot turn the lock tumblers because the teeth or key don't match the lock configuration. I hope you understood till here. Next, Moving ahead to classification of enzymes. Enzymes are classified into 6 categories. First is oxidoreductases. As the name suggests, these are involved in oxidation and reduction. Next is transferases. These are involved in transfer of functional groups. Hydrolysis. These are involved in transfer of water. That is, they catalyze the hydrolysis of a substrate. And lyases. These are responsible for addition or removal of the elements of water, ammonia or carbon dioxide from double bonds or to the double bonds. Next is isomerases like isomer. These are responsible for catalysis and rearrangements of atoms within a molecule. And ligases, it means joining of two molecules. Moving ahead to the enzyme structure. Enzyme structure includes active sites. These are very important sites because the enzyme molecules contain a special pocket, or you can say a cleft, called as active sites, which binds the substrate, and then this forms enzyme substrate complex. Then this enzyme substrate complex is converted into enzyme product, which then dissociates from enzyme and product. These are very important part of enzyme. Next are cofactors. These are some enzyme associate with the non-protein cofactor, which is needed for enzymic activity. Example of cofactors are metal ions, organic molecules, etc. Next is holoenzyme. It refers to the enzyme with its cofactor. Next is apoenzyme. It refers to the protein portion of holoenzyme and it doesn't show any biological activity in absence of appropriate cofactor. Remember this about apoenzyme. Next is prosthetic group. It is a tightly bound coenzyme that does not dissociate from the enzyme. The last one is allosteric binding sites. As I told you about active sites, allosteric binding sites are the additional active sites. Most of the enzymes can contain additional active site for interaction with active molecule called as active site. As you know, enzyme sidekicks are cofactors and coenzymes. Cofactors I have discussed before, and coenzymes, these are the organic molecules which binds to the active sites of certain enzymes to assist in the catalysis of a reaction. These also functions as intermediate carriers of electrons during these reactions. Here I have two awesome theories for you. These are lock and key theory and induced bit theory. First is lock and key theory, which was given by Emil Fischer in 1894. In this theory, the lock is the enzyme and the key is the substrate. Only the correct sized key, that is the substrate, will fit into the keyhole of the lock. Here the keyhole is the active site and the lock is the enzyme. Incorrectly positioned teeth, as you can see here, that incorrectly positioned teeth on keys do not fit into the lock. This is the lock and key theory. Next is induced fit model, which was given by Daniel Koshland in 1958. It describes that only the proper substrate is capable of inducing the proper alignment of the active site, the proper alignment of the active site that will enable the enzyme to perform its catalytic function, as you can see here in the figure. Understood? Here is a little picture for you so that you can have a better understanding of active site, substrate and all the complex which I have discussed before. As you can see here, the substrate entering active site of the enzyme here, and then the enzyme substrate complex is formed, enzyme and product complex is formed, and products leaves active site of the enzyme. As you know, aperture is worth 1,000 words. I hope you have a better understanding till here. Next we have specificity. So it is determined by the functional group of the substrate or the functional group of enzymes and the physical proximity of these functional groups. So basically specificity means enzyme working for any specific thing. Specific thing means any substrate or any enzyme or any functional group. It will work specifically. Understood? Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have any doubts, you can post it in the comment section. If you want to ask anything, you can also mail me at @foodtechjourney. Do like and keep supporting, guys. Thank you.